Are you ready for combat night?
Take a look. I'm going to end this as soon as I hear the podcast thing. Be like, are you ready?
You're live.
Oh, we're live. All right, we live now. We out. Discord video. Discord. All right. We ain't live yet. We'll hear it. It'll be like our old announcer's intro.
No, you're good. It was muted.
Oh, we are live. Okay.
Oh.
All right. We in here. What's up, Stephanie? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, guys, we are joined in studio today by the one, the only Stone Cold Stephanie Calderon. Just got clarification on how to say her last name. Man, Stephanie, so if you don't mind me asking, when did you start? Like, when did you start training? When did you start fighting?
This July will be 4 years since I walked into Kaizen, and that's the first and only place I ever trained martial arts.
Okay. How long did you train before you took your first fight?
It was about like 6 months I was training, but for a few months I trained while I owned a business, and I was only able to train like once or twice a week while she stood back. And then within a couple months we sold it, and then we accepted our first fight. I was scared as hell. You guys actually offered me my very first fight, and it ended up not happening. I ended up fighting for another promotion, and then you guys matched me up with Destiny after that. So, yeah.
And both of y'all are on a little bit of a tear.
Yeah.
Since that fight. I don't think she's lost a fight since. She lost that fight to you. It was a great back and forth fight. That was early on, both a kickboxing fight, correct?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see where Destiny goes as well. It's been cool watching both of y'all kind of starting at the same time, but you have probably logged maybe triple the fights than she has logged at this point. Like, you've been active.
Yeah.
How many fights do you have so far under your belt?
We have 12 fights, 2 professional, 10 amateur, 5 were kickboxing, and then 5 were MMA.
So that was right. That took about 3.5 years then.
Actively fighting 2.5 years.
2.5 years. So 12,
like that.
12 fights, 2.5 years.
Yes.
Man. So guys, I say it all the time. I'm just going to reiterate this.
Yeah.
If you want to make it and you want to be at the top of the sport, which I believe that's your goal,
yes,
you got to be active.
Yes.
And Stephanie has no problem with being active or being violent. You always put on some violent displays whenever you're inside of that cage. So you already mentioned something I wanted to talk to you about. What were you doing before you started the fight game, before you started training?
I feel like I lived a million lives. I don't even know where to begin, but like right when I started, my wife and I were like health coaches. We were helping people lose weight. We were helping them in the gym. So I've always been like into like lifting or being in some sort of sport. But like I said, we owned a business at the time, and she is not a customer service person at all. So every time I'm at the gym, I'm like, bro, whoever walks in is never coming back. Because if you walk in, she's like, can I help you? Okay, $8. I'm like, bro, we're going to lose everybody. So I'm like, we got to sell this. Like, I can't train and be worried about that. So that's what we were doing at the time. We ended up selling it just like for someone to take over our lease. Like, we didn't sell it for anything, bro. We were down bad for a while. While I was training up until last July, when I decided that we were going pro, we were doing Instacart for a while. That's how we were making our money. Her and I would just go out. We had both of our phones going, and we're food shopping for other people, dropping it off so that way I can train and be free when classes were going on.
Okay, you said you lived a million lives before, man. Tell us about some of these.
I was a correctional officer for 2 years. When we moved to Florida, that was probably the worst decision I ever made in my life. Once the 2 years was up, I'm like, yo, I'm out of here, bro. I thought I was gonna help people like actually be reintroduced to the world, and I was just like an adult babysitter with a whole bunch of cowboys actually here in CFRC. In Central Florida Reception Center. Yeah. So we were over here before we moved to Tampa. I worked in warehouses. And when my first job was Burger King, I did that. And I worked in warehouses. Warehouses was the majority of my thing. Like, I enjoy working hard. Like, I wanted to sweat. I didn't want no office job. I want to sweat. I want to be busy. I want to be moving. My work ethic is really good. I feel like that's what helps me be successful for real in MMA.
Okay, so you were an order filler then, I'm guessing. You were filling orders?
Yep.
I worked at a Walmart warehouse
Yeah.
and bodybuilding.com. So I did a lot of the order filling. It's a
Yeah.
workout for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And
I
the harder
enjoyed
you
that.
work, the more you get paid.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I was always moving up pretty fast in those things.
Why you say the correction officer was the worst one? I feel like that's really fitting for your moniker in the sport, Stone Cold. Like,
Yeah.
you're a badass. You take no, you don't take nothing. But I can imagine how horrible that would be.
Yeah. I when I was doing that, I joined the rapid response team, and it's crazy because like up until MMA, like even now, bro, when we signed the contract, I might come off like I'm super confident. I'm fucking nervous too, just like everybody else. And we signed the contract, it gets real for me. I get nervous, but something, maybe I was just avoiding it. Something in me always wanted to run like towards the fire. So I joined rapid response team. But before all this, like I was super afraid of confrontation. Like if you told me you wanted to fight me, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. I'm going to look for every excuse not to. And yeah, I was afraid of it, but I would always like run towards it if it wasn't planned.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's it, right? The fight or flight response. Everyone's gonna feel a bit of nerves at the very beginning, and then it depends on what you want to do. You're gonna run toward that, or you're gonna run away from that.
Yeah.
It's very obvious, like you said, like you're not afraid to run toward it. But I think it's good for especially the younger fighters. I would still classify you as a younger fighter. You've been doing this for 2.5 years, but for them to hear someone like Stone Cold, because I see you fight, and I'm like, yo, this girl has ice in her veins. She is not nervous. She is not scared. She is so confident. That was my issue. And I fought. I was not. I was a head case. Can this person knock me out? Will this person do this? Will this person do that? So I think it's good for other people to hear that, like, yo, even Stone Cold is nervous.
Yeah. Also, Stone Cold, I feel like is a separate person than like Stephanie, for real.
Okay.
I'm shy. I'm the sweetest person. Like if you come in the gym, I'm always smiling. I'm always like happy-go-lucky. Like who you guys see out there. Honestly, even the walkout is not Stephanie. Like I don't know who that is. I told all like when I watch it, like Stephanie watches it, I kind of cringe. I'm like, that is not me. Like I don't watch my post fight because it's like, who the hell is that for real? I feel like that's a alter ego of mine.
That's really dope. I was talking with someone, I think it was Val, about switches and how, some fighters, usually the ones that end up being the best, have that switch. And for you, the switch starts. When does it start? Like, where do you start? Where you start to being super confident, So for some people, for me, it was once I got in the cage. I was like, well, I'm doing this now. And like, for Val Woodburn, if you see him fight, it's the same thing. He's the sweetest, most cuddly dude ever. But when he gets in that cage, boy, it's scary.
Everybody knows like Roddy Rich is like the same playlist. I remember one time my brother was in my corner and he's like, Steph, you want me to change it? Like the same songs keep playing. I'm like, no, that's perfect. That's the playlist. So when we're in the back, usually, even when he's wrapping my hands, I'm like, fuck, here we go again. Like we did this again. We signed up for this shit again. Here we go. I'm like, damn, they still got time to like pull out. Like I remember like, okay, she's not here. Good. But usually like once I start moving and I start cracking pads, I get in my bag and then it turns on. And more so like there's like a real, like there's like I kind of ease into it, but once we're in the cage and I'm looking across, I'm like, oh, we're here now. And then that's when everything just like, that's the aggression and the person I really don't recognize.
Yeah, that's dope. No, I love it. There's, even though I'm a promoter and I a fight's a fight at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who's fighting who. I can't control who's going to win, who's going to lose. But man, I look forward to hearing you on the mic after. I look forward to seeing you jump on the cage and talk to your fans. Like all of it. Like you are, from a promoter standpoint, you are the total package. You're the person that if you could fight every month and we could find you people that wanted to fight every month, I'd have you on every event because you're so exciting and you bring that extra entertainment value to the fans. I mean, your walkout, everyone's always showing you love. For only being in 2.5 years, did you always have this huge support system, or is this just something new with fighting?
It's funny because we were just kind of talking about this with my following, just in general. I kind of always shared like everything I was going through. Like at one point, my wife and I had like an Instagram channel. We kind of like always shared. So I've kind of always had people, but I don't know. Like once I started fighting, like I tell the people all the time who show up, like, I don't know what I did to deserve you guys, bro. Like from sponsors to just everyone around me, just in general, like treat me and her like their kids. I don't know what I did to deserve them or how they ended up here, but super blessed to have them. I don't know how we got them, but it did start a lot when I started fighting. And when I do like say that, a lot of the time they just say like they see my passion in what I do, and they want to help support that. So
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be for fighting, because this is the only thing I've been like this passionate about.
Yeah, it's cool because like you have your own fan base, your own following, but also within the combat night realm or like world, there's a whole bunch of people that support you as well. And I say this, there's only really been maybe 3 or 4 fighters that have that, where I know we could take you to Tallahassee and they're going to love you in Tallahassee. Like, it doesn't matter where we go, because our social media following, I see people commenting and talking about Stone Cold from Tallahassee, from Jacksonville, from Orlando, from all over the place. Val Woodburn was another one. He was super, super popular. Like, he might go to Tallahassee and sell 0 tickets. But when people hear he's on the card, they're all excited. People are chanting his name in the crowd, and he's not from Tallahassee, but you're another one of those fighters that people are drawn to you. You're like a magnet. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, because it's rare. Like I said, we've done this multiple times, and it's very rare that happens.
That's awesome. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I feel it too. There's something about you that is just special. I know it doesn't, I think you're going to make it in the fight game, but no matter what you do in life, you're going to make it somewhere, something. You have that energy about you, and you have that charisma that is very hard to find in people. So it's cool to see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So 2.5 years fight game. What has been, give us like your best moment to this point? Like what's like the thing you're going to tell your kids about?
Oh my God, this pro run, I feel like so far, I remember going into, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to prove to y'all that I can grapple. I'm like, I'm going to get me a submission finish. I'm going to get me a doctor stoppage due to elbows. This is all before I went pro. And I said I wanted a clean knockout. Never did I imagine a towel. So 2 towels in a row is crazy. And it's like, you don't ever see it. I told her, like, this is cooler than any of the shit I could have planned for. Honestly, 2 towels is really cool. So I feel like the 2 towels, hell, if I get 3, that'd be even better. That'd be the stuff I'm telling my kids about.
Yeah, that's insane. A hat trick of towels. The first time, so it happened the first time, but I think the round was about to end too. So you didn't look. I think you maybe just thought the round was over. But the second time, there was still a good amount of time left. How did it feel in those moments whenever? Because you looked a little lost.
Because I remember hearing Vince say 90 seconds, and I feel like I'm a young fighter, but I feel like I'm pretty smart. I think, like, even hearing the commentary back, I'm not gonna say nothing because Ramsey's right there, but like sometimes I feel like people think I'm starting slow, and even my wife will yell at me. She'll be like, "Babe, don't start slow this time." But for me, it's like, really, I feel like I'm collecting my data, and when you're hurt, I know, and then I'll give you that 14-piece and a soda like they were talking about. So I heard Vince say the 90 seconds. I didn't hear the 10-second clapper. And then I didn't see the towel, and he's just stopping the fight. And then I see her on the stool, and I'm like, bro, Vince, are you going to come in? First, I'm confused because I didn't hear the 10-second clapper. I would have teed off if I knew. Like, I would have gave her a whole thing. And then I'm confused as to why she's on her stool already, and Vince is not even coming in the cage. I'm like, bro, she's already getting a break. Like, let's go. I need some direction. Where did I go wrong there? Like, what happened? And then, like, you were telling me, and he was telling me, like, yeah, they threw in the towel. I'm like, oh, got it. I had no idea.
That's dope. Yeah, I was watching your facial expression, and I saw you looked at her, and you looked over at Vince, like, what are you doing? Like you were mad, you were offended. And I was at that moment, I happened to be on the stairs, like where the door would be opening up at, and you almost looked at me like, what are you doing? Like, why are you there?
Yeah.
But no, it's dope. The first towel throw, and so that was the second towel throw, right?
Yeah.
You remember what was going on during the first towel throw? And that girl was 2-0 too. She wasn't. That's another thing that as you heard on the post show, I don't hold back. I always tell the truth, or whatever I see is the truth. And someone thought, oh, these girls are throwing in the towel. Stephanie must be picking her opponents or choosing her opponents. And I'm like, man, there is no picking or choosing when it comes to Stone Cold. She is just saying yes to everything. We've sent her probably 20 names, and they're asking for UFC vets. They're asking for girls that have already been to the big show and are now out of the big show and still fighting. So there's no picking or choosing. But the first opponent, 2-0, we were told as a promotion that maybe you're giving her too much. And I was like, well, maybe that's not our decision. Like, it's up to her and her team. And they said yes. So how did it feel to get that finish against a 2-0 girl?
That was cool. It like that whole camp, I feel like was me versus me. I was coming back from a surgery. Not only just coming back, but I was coming back from my professional debut. So it was a lot of me versus me. So, I mean, besides the towel, before the towel emotion set in, the win felt really good because I proved that to myself. And then once I found out it was a towel, that one I also didn't really know what happened. I thought the ref was just stopping it. I didn't realize the towel came in. Jacob, I think, was the one that told me, like, bro, the towel's there. I'm like, bro, I didn't see it. He was like, yeah, you're a little busy. So that one felt pretty cool too. But the second one really, that one blew me away.
Yeah. No, I've said it online and I'll say it again today. I'll probably say it 100 more times, but out of the thousands of fights that we've had now at Combat Night, 200 events, an average of like 15 and 20 fights an event, we have literally never had people throwing the towel. We've had people stop in between rounds.
Yeah.
They made it to the round. Coach said, you can't go back out there, but literally not like, okay, the round's not ending quick enough. They throw the towel in and stopping the fight before they even get a chance to talk to their fighter in the corner and see what's going on. Something I notice is that your accuracy, it is insane. Like, I feel like these women, I'm sorry, I keep saying girls. I feel like these women that you're fighting, and it's really happened now as a pro. As an amateur, you didn't see all the damage. You were actually just knocking them out. Like they weren't, maybe they just weren't as tough. I don't know. But I see their eyes slowly and surely, like, just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Is that something you work on in the gym? Your accuracy is amazing.
I think first the 5 minutes is what makes the difference for me. I feel like the 5 minutes is a game changer because, like, as an amateur, I feel like I did kind of start slow, and that's why I would make it to the second rounds. But accuracy, I don't really feel like I actually work on that, but we do hit noodles. He uses those noodles not just for like defense, but for offense as well. So maybe that has helped me get more accurate. No, but I'm also tired of hitting them on the forehead and in these hard places because, like, it hurts them, it hurts me too at the end. My hands are fucked at the end of these fights, and they're short fights. I'm like, dang, if we went 15 minutes, I'd be assed out. Like, my knuckle in my right hand is crazy.
Yeah, I see it's big.
Yeah, it's and I mean, I didn't even train today because yeah. But yeah, it's not something we actually work on, but I guess maybe just our method of training has helped me though.
Yeah, that might be part of the fight IQ as well, is that you're able to pinpoint and keep targeting that same spot. Yeah, and the commentary, I haven't listened to the commentary on your fight, so I'm not sure, but I also think that you always do something. I wouldn't say starting slow because you're throwing punches, you're not just moving, but I can see that you're figuring them out. You're seeing what's going on. How do they react to my jab? How do they react to my feints? How do they react to my right? And to me, it's like a master class every time you fight. This last girl got in on she went for some decent takedown attempts.
Yeah.
The timing was great. You were able to defend them well, and it didn't even bother you. But let's move on a little bit from the fight game, talk about some other things. Do you have anything else going on right now outside of the fight game, or are you solely everything's all in on the fight game?
Everything is all in on the fight game. Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it the support? We know the support system at the fights, but what about the build up to the fights? How is it? Because, like, I'll tell you, when I was fighting, my girl was sometimes my best friend, and I couldn't do it without her. And some days it was like, why are you here?
No, she's really good. She's really good about it. She's really good about, especially like when we get closer to the fight, like easing the stress off of me and just taking over some things. And even outside of like just us, everybody in general, like who you guys see at the fights, like they support me day in and day out, outside of the fight game, whatever support I need. My dad, he shows up, and I feel like I didn't really, my brother played soccer while we were coming up. So like every weekend I went to my dad's house. It was like we were going to Steven's soccer game. So I feel like now he's trying to make up for it. And he is like anything I could ask him for. Like yes, got it. You got it, baby. Whatever you need to follow your dream. Like he wants it as bad as I do. So that's awesome. And I feel like everyone around me in general wants it as bad as I do. And as far as teammates too, they're awesome too. Like the support there is awesome.
I see that too. Your dad is awesome. He is like, always got a big smile on his face. Your brother as well. Yeah. They're always showing you a ton of love. You mentioned your brother played soccer growing up. Did you play any sports as well? Were you into?
I play a little bit of basketball, and we've been together almost 10 years now, but before her, like in high school, I got into stupid like girl problems. And the girls on the team scared me off of playing on the team. They're like, we're gonna jump you because of X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, well, I'm not on this team no more then because I don't want to fight. And I avoided seeing them in the staircases, everything, bro. I was not like Stephanie was there. I didn't know Stone Cold yet. So they scared me off the basketball team. I played basketball for a while, but not throughout high school.
That's so wild to me to hear you say that you got bullied off the basketball team.
I did. I didn't want to fight. Bro, you know what's crazy too? This is so random. I just connected my Instagram with my Facebook, and I'm on Facebook, and this one girl who really had hands in high school. And I remember telling her about her. I'm like, this girl, Rebecca Jennings. Hopefully she's watching. I'm like, this girl had crazy hands. I would always try to avoid any fights with her. And she fucking friended me on Facebook the other day. I'm like, damn, she probably sees me fighting now. Like, you poser.
Yeah.
She was a little puss.
Yeah, but she don't want to see you now.
No, she doesn't. No.
There you go.
But I got respect though.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's something that I did not expect you to say today. That one, that you're shy, or two, that you're getting bullied off of basketball teams. Yeah. Any other sports or just basketball? That was it.
Just basketball. Like when I was older, I lifted and I competed in some strongman stuff when I lived out here in Florida. So less than 10 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I did some strongman stuff. But other than that, no other sports. No.
Okay. So what got you to walk into Kaizen? What got you to try that for the first time?
I was chunky and I wanted to lose some weight, and something always called me towards that. Like I would hit a bag every now and then, but no training. So something would always call me towards that. I lived in, and when we first moved from New York, we moved to Orlando. I actually checked out the Jungle. I still get emails from them till today, but I'm like, dang, $170 something. In my mind, I'm like, no way, the gym is $10. Like, what are you talking about? And at the time, we just got married. We just moved out here with $2,000 to our name. I'm like, all right, that's not feasible right now. So it would always like call me. But when we got over there, I went to Kaizen and they were $129 a month. I'm like, I might be able to swing that, but we were broke as hell, very broke. I figured it out every single month, and I just wanted to do like the cardio kickboxing classes. And after that, it was a wrap. I started taking like the bang Muay Thai. I sucked, and I really thought I was good. Like, I'm like, babe, I'm going to do something with this. And I watch these videos now. I'm like, why did I think that? Like, I had no right thinking that. But I just went to lose weight and then just fell in love with it. Like, I felt something I struggle with a lot, like, is just my own mental, like, self-talk. And I feel like martial arts helped me with that a lot, like proving to myself a lot of things.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. You know, Vince told us when he talked to us about your very first fight, he told us like, you're special. He's like, yo, she's special. I'm telling you, she's gonna be my TJ. And that's like and you know, again, we do hear this a lot from coaches, not Vince, but you know, we've had plenty of coaches say, oh, he's gonna be this or she's gonna be this. And then it's like a couple years later, it's like, yeah, they're not even training anymore. They're not fighting anymore. And we were kind of new to working with Vince. So, you know, we don't know Vince. I came up at the same time as Vince. When Vince was fighting, I was fighting as well. We both fought in the RFC, and we never trained together, but we just were in the similar in the MMA scene at the same time. But when Vince told us that, we were like, oh, yeah, hold your horses, big guy. Like, whatever you say. You know, because again, we hear that all the time, and then the people they flake out so quick. But man, you just kept asking for more fights and more fights and more fights. And then we realized that really about the time of your last injury, and watching you like come back and watching you you do a bunch of blogs. If you don't follow Stone Cold, you should follow her. It's like just her morning blog is great. I love watching them every morning. I don't watch a lot of people's stuff. When I'm on the phone and on Instagram, I'm busy working, so I don't have a lot of time to like doom scroll. But I always try to make sure I find a couple people's, and yours is one of them, just because they're funny, they're real, they're genuine. And again, that's why maybe you just feel like you're talking to your phone, but I could never imagine you being shy because of just how genuine you are in those posts. Yeah. But we knew, I knew when I saw how hard you were working to come back. I was like, all right, this sorry woman, she might actually be something. She might be the real deal. And then whenever you fought the first time, and Vince was telling Richard, he was like, we need a matchup for May. and was like already on him about it. And it was like 3 weeks from your first fight. And Richard's like, yo, you need just chill out, man. Like, don't worry. Like, we'll find her something. And I called Richard, was like, hey man, I was like, I think we should just go ahead and get her something. I was like, because I'm pretty sure she's going to turn around. I was like, yeah, that's what they all say, bud. And I was like, I think she's being serious, man. And then that Monday morning, Sunday might have been, Vince messaged Richard, and Richard was like, yo, can I get a day to chill? And he was like, she don't want a day to chill. And he was like, we're not trying to chill, man.
Yeah, we got our foot on the gas. I'm 31 years old, so I understand like I'm young in the game, but in MMA, I'm not a spring chicken, and we understand that. So we keep our foot on the gas, and as long as I'm healthy, like we want to go. But talking about like sharing that journey and that bounce back from that injury, I feel like I lived a lot of lives because every time something got hard, I'd quit basketball. Didn't want to. I'm a non-confrontational person. I didn't want to like face that. So like this was that thing where I'm like, bro, you're gonna do it again. It got hard, and you're gonna do it again. You're gonna quit again on something you really enjoy, and then what? Like you already don't have a fucking job. Like you already gave up a lot and sacrificed all that just to give up and try something else. You're 31. You can try something new. Like that wasn't the plan. So talking to the phone was also me. This is all happening really fast. Like the whole journey, it's happening really fast. So like I'm almost not able to remember it. So it started as like my video journal, but then it was like me. I'm having to be honest. You're checking for my videos. They're checking for my videos. And if I don't show up today, like they're going to know. And it's not just me. Like to me, I'm trying to make it bigger than letting myself down because I've done that before. But it's like, yo, everybody's watching. You got to come back. So that helped me like really bounce back and share that journey with people.
That's really dope. One, because it's, you know, even though you say you're shy, but it takes a lot of confidence and accountability, more importantly, the accountability to put yourself out there like that and be vulnerable and show everybody, you know, what you're going through or what's happening. And then, the accountability, like you're holding yourself accountable. You're not letting it, like you said, you've quit a lot of things, which I could never imagine. You know, I'm a walking oxymoron. I've done so many things in my life as well. Like I got a million stories. But I've never been a quitter. Like if anything, I'm very hard headed, and I'll not quit just to prove a point. Like I'm so hard headed when it comes to things. And I would have thought the same thing about you. I would have thought like, there's no way Stone Cold's not just a hard headed grind that doesn't take no for an answer. I'm gonna do whatever I can to prove people wrong. So it's cool that because people a lot of times I feel like, especially at the age of 30, like you are who you are. You can't change. And so you're kind of teaching me something too. Like, all right, there's a possibility because if you're able to change that at the age of what, like 30, 29 when you went through the issue, the medical issue, says a lot about you because I know it's not easy. That is definitely hard.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, you had said something. I had it, but then I was trying to listen and I forgot what the hell I was about to say.
I was just talking about you being shy and not expecting you to be a quitter. I thought you'd be a hard-headed. Maybe you are still hard-headed when it comes to some things because I don't think you make it this far if you're not hard-headed and stubborn.
Damn. I lost it.
It'll come back.
Yeah,
it'll come back. Don't worry. So what brought you down to Florida to begin with from New York?
The gay world is super small in New York. So I met my wife. I knew she was one, and I'm kind of like, well, if this is going to work, we got to get out from over here because like, she dated someone I was with, and the person I was with was cheating on me with her. And I'm like, oh yeah, we got to get up out of here. This is crazy. But we're still together 10 years later. So like, that was definitely the right move. And really what made me even want to, what was Florida is like, I came out for like my 22nd birthday or something. And I seen broke people. I was in Miami. I seen like homeless people on the beach smiling. I'm like, bruh, if you can be broke and smiling in Florida, this is it. Like I'm out $2,000. I told her we were together maybe like a couple months. I'm like, hey, this is my plan. You with it? Like, I like you. You like me a lot. She was like, yeah, when are we out? I'm like, oh yeah, it's lit. And then before we moved, we got engaged and moved out here. We thought we were going to Miami. Prices were crazy. We ended up in Orlando.
Yeah. I got a bunch of friends that they think they want to move down to Miami for training and like for the lifestyle. And I'm like, bro, go down there for a week and see how expensive it is. Like the parking, the food, everything is just way more expensive. You can't go outside without having to spend money.
Insane. I remember what I was going to say too. I was going to say, like, sometimes I'll catch myself saying, I wish I would have started this earlier, started MMA earlier, but I don't think it would have worked if I would have tried earlier. Like finding it at this age with all the lessons I had learned, with everything I had been through, is what's making this journey the way it is. I feel like.
Yeah, you know, I just cornered Ari up in Cage Titans.
Yeah.
We took a hard split decision loss, and I was trying to tell her like how important timing is, you know, for her. And I get it, like her dreams, you know, she felt like they just shattered in front of her, but you know, only time will tell. I don't know. There's a proverb. There's a story about a guy whose son who gets crushed by a horse, and then it's like and they're like, "Oh, we feel so bad for you," and he's like, "Well, time will tell." And then the military draft comes around, and his son doesn't get drafted, and like everyone in the town dies, but his son's still alive. And he's like, "So was it a bad thing?"
Right.
But yeah, I tried to tell her that. I was like, you know, timing is everything. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason, and we don't know it yet. We're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep grinding, and then we'll get there. So. Yeah, I think timing is super important. You know, same thing about even like my whole life. It's like I feel like it's like all these little butterfly effects that happen, because I was supposed to go to the Marines, and I got in this big fight, and I ended up pulling out a gun on somebody, and it blew up. Anyways, I didn't go. And I was just thinking like, man, if I didn't go, if I wouldn't have went to Florida State University, I wouldn't have met my business partner Josh Saman. I wouldn't have started Combat Night, like all these little things. And at the time, I thought my world was over. I thought I was fixing to be in jail for like, I mean, I was getting offered like 22 years in prison, my first appearance. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? But again, like everything happens for a reason, and timing is very important. And obviously I'm very thankful I didn't go to the Marines. I couldn't imagine my life without, you know, everything, my kids, the Combat Night, meeting people like you. But yeah, timing is everything.
Yeah. I believe in that too. There's like a verse 13:7 in my Instagram bio, and I wrote that like after the whole knee situation. Is I don't know the quote by heart, but it's somewhere along the lines like, right now you may not understand, but like you will.
Yeah. No, super important. And you know, and especially with athletes and in MMA, maybe it's just the world nowadays too, but it's like now, you know, everything is as quick as it can happen, and the instant gratification is like taking over, and there's not that sense of like letting time play out and letting things happen. Everyone wants to make it happen right now, right away, and it's just not. It's just, it feels better too whenever things play out, and you know, the ups and the downs. It's definitely better. So we got how you got to Florida, which is funny in itself. I didn't expect that to be the answer. Was your family already down here?
Only people who are down here are my dad and my brother, and we kind of all moved down around the same time. My dad always traveled to Florida, but he would be like in Valrico when he was like working with other people, for other people before he had his own business. So he'd do like construction everywhere. And around the same time, my brother moved as well. And that's really all that's out here. She has some family out here in Orlando that was already out here, but we don't really like see them too often. We really stay in Tampa because of training. Like we spend a lot of time at home. We don't travel much, and we try to the training schedule keeps us really busy. And
your mom, she's still up in New York.
Yeah,
she came down for your last fight.
Yeah,
was that the first time she's been to a fight
ever? That's the first fight she's ever watched live.
She was hyped.
She'll fake it. She'll fake it when she's watching on the pay-per-view. Every time I make the walk, she goes to the bathroom, and then she's like, I was in the bathroom while that all happened. I didn't get to see it. What happened? But she gets really nervous. But that was the first fight she's ever watched live, period.
Okay.
Is this moving? Are we good?
Maybe push it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like it might have slid down a little bit.
Left is the other way. Lefty loosey.
There you go.
Hopefully it wasn't too long.
No, I could hear you the whole time. I was peeping. I was watching it fall slowly but surely.
It was like me in the chair.
Yeah. Man, and I had something I wanted to ask you about your family. It slipped my mind. You got me.
Your turn.
I know, my turn now. So what's your, we already talked about your favorite fight memory. Who's been your toughest opponent so far? I know most of the people you fought. Who would you say was your toughest opponent to date?
That's actually something too in my Tapology. I do have a loss. I lost my second fight. My Tapology for some reason doesn't show it. That shit bugs me till this day, because like every time I post something, the girl who beat me will post something like this, or like, so proud of you, and I'm like, damn, I want that back. But I wouldn't say that was my toughest fight. That fight was like me versus me. I froze up. I didn't even know the rules.
Who was that? Was that the girl that fought for us in Jacksonville?
No, her name is Haley Lowry.
Okay.
This was a Muay Thai fight. She just kicked the shit out of me, and I didn't know. Okay, I never was into MMA. Like when I started training, this like I'm super green to this. Like Vince would be like, "Yo, you know this person?" I'm like, no. He's like, figured. So I didn't know she can kick me in the fucking head, and she kicked me in the head, and I'm like, yo, she's gonna knock me out if I move my hand. So I just froze up and I just turned into defensive, and I landed a couple nice right hands, but like she just kicked the shit out of me the whole time. I remember one kick, she like oh my god, it was so bad. She kicked me right in the throat, and I remember I was like, I had to make sure it was still on because I was certain that shit detached. But I was good. I just ended up losing the fight. That was horrible. That was my second fight. And then after that, we won 10 straight. But that's when I got in there with Destiny. That girl can crack. And when she hit me, I'm like, it's her or me. I got to start swinging. This shit can't happen again. I'm like, this girl can knock me out. Like, she's not just kicking me. So that's how I ended up like getting back. But yeah, I would say my toughest fight. That was a question. Maybe Autumn Newcomb. I had a 5-round fight with Autumn Newcomb, and typically I'm a pressure fighter, and we had been like training, like just getting me better at moving backwards and striking. And that whole fight I moved backwards, and it was like a whole bunch of check hooks, but I wasn't like that wasn't my style, and I was like completely out of my realm. But probably Autumn Newcomb, and I fought her in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, for a title.
Okay. I didn't get to watch that fight, but I'm familiar with her. I saw the face-offs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny, Destiny, for some reason, you and Destiny remind me a lot of each other. She's from New York as well. She's very, she has a switch too when she gets in the cage. The night y'all fought, we have a reel that goes viral. It's been viral like 3 times. I wonder if you paid attention at all to this. Did you know she like forgot her mouthpiece?
No idea. I'm like, damn, they're taking a while, but I knew Fusion was from Orlando, so I'm like, oh, they're probably just gonna perform out there. Like I had no idea.
Yeah, she forgot her mouthpiece, and there was that song "I'm from New York" was playing, and she's like singing and dancing outside the cage, waiting for her mouthpiece to come. We posted the reel like 3 or 4 times. It's so funny because it goes viral every single time. But every time I see it, I think about like, man, Stephanie was just in that cage for like 5 minutes waiting to fight.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and that's funny too because that fight was so good. It was back and forth. I felt like you were winning the rounds. But like speaking of people who don't know the rules, or like you don't know the rules, some things. She didn't know what the referee was saying to her. Yeah, and she was so pissed. I had to hear about the TKO because she was like, I could have kept fighting, and I she probably could have. She was losing the rounds, but like she probably could have kept fighting. But she was so mad. She was like, why the fuck is he asking me if I'm okay? Yeah, I'm like, get out of my way. I remember exactly what happened too. It's because she was standing there with her hands on her hips. And in the meeting, they said, if we ask you, give us your hands. And they said, and if you want to like say no without saying it, then don't respond. Yeah. And I guess she didn't make the meeting, and she stood like that. And they were like, all right, well, I guess she doesn't want to. I remember that. Fighter meetings are important. Yeah. It's like probably like 1 out of every 3 events. We have something happen and a fighter just looks offended and mad that like, why am I getting in trouble for this? In Orlando, the night you fought, a kid was throwing elbows from his guard. And in Florida, which is unique to our state, we have a mohawk rule where you can't hit from the skull all the way back in the shape of a mohawk. In most places, it's just behind the ear. Oh, sure. So this kid was from another state, and he got a point taken away for hitting the mohawk. Wow. And he was so mad, but it's like, yo, man. Yeah. Fighters meeting, if you pay attention, and I get it. When I was a fighter, I didn't pay attention. I was like, this shit again. It's the only sport in the world where they have to tell you the rules every time before you do it. Yeah, you just told me that, so I'm going to pay attention now. Yeah, it is important though, like because they do be changing the rules here and there. Like right now, they just changed the hand down rule. It used to be if your hand was down, you were not down unless it was both hands or a knee, and now they switched it back to you are down if your hand's down. So that rule's changed, and it's important to listen because if you miss something and you think you knee him in the face, and now you lose a fight because of it. Yeah. I got to pay more attention. Yeah, no, it's important. just and I get it too. Like it's just like I know the rules. I've done this sport for 5 years now. I get it. But yeah. So what is you have any plans for after fighting? Or are you just all in on fighting right now? I'm all in on fighting right now. I'm just trying to
take what I make and make some smart decisions right now, because what time I have left in the game, and I feel like I got a long time. Like I feel good. Like when I'm training, I feel awesome. So just trying to make smart money decisions, so that way I leave better than I came in.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, a lot of fighters don't do that. I am very big on fighters being financially smart when it comes to this, because there's not a lot of money in MMA in general. And you see so many guys who make a little bit of money and they think they've made it. And it's like, yo, you have not made it. And I get it, because I grew up in a trailer park, broke as could be. And I remember getting like, when I fought for Bellator, getting like $2,000 all at once. I was like, $2,000, and I blew it. Yeah. I didn't even pretend like I saved it or did anything smart with it. I didn't. I blew it. And I was like, that went really fast.
Yeah.
And I thought back then, I mean, this is also like 2012. I thought $2,000. I was like, I was good. I could do whatever for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Nah, not the case.
Yeah, that feels nice. Sometimes I got to remind myself too, because like I said, when we sold the business, we sold it for nothing, and we were Instacarting, so everything was like straight bills. So like to have the money come in now, we were so used to everything going to bill. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want this. And I'm like, oh, I actually don't. Like, and the other day I hit her, I'm like, yo, see if they still got those Apple headphones, the big ones. And she's like, for real? I'm like, yeah. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, forget it. I'm tripping. I don't even want those for real. But like, I just have the idea, and I'm like, I want them right now because we can do it now,
Yeah.
Now we're making a little bit of money, but it's hard, but I do reel myself in. I'm like, give myself some time. And if I still want it in 3 days, then maybe I'll like come back to the idea. But
okay,
the biggest purchase so far has been a used PlayStation 5. And I play a free game on there.
you got no games yet.
No, I got The Last of Us, and it's free because of the PlayStation, whatever, the store.
Yeah.
So I've been playing The Last of Us.
Have you watched that series at all on
That's
Netflix?
what made me play it. Yeah.
Okay. I watched it too. I never played the video game. I just watched it because everyone was talking about how great it was and how good it was.
Yeah.
What do you think about the comparison between the game and the series?
It's really good.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Like
you're
as
a
I'm
fan.
playing, I'm like, yo, I know exactly where I'm at in this thing. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna front. Like, I don't care about two women kissing. I don't care about two men kissing, but men with beards kissing.
Yeah.
That part troubles me.
I'm gay, and some of that gay shit be killing me. Bro. There's some gay stuff that I'm like, I don't want to associate with that.
Yeah, it was just the beards. I was like, yo, y'all got beards. Like, oh, that's gotta. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I was like, fast forward real quick. All right, can't be seeing two men with beards. Like I said, two men without beards, whatever. That's a movie. Two women, whatever. But the beards, I was just like, I can't do the beards. It's too much.
They don't have the beard. One of them doesn't have a beard in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did I have to give him a beard? Oh man, just too much.
Yeah, the rest of the casting is pretty good though.
Yeah,
it matches up.
Cool. No, I like it. I started watching it like maybe a month ago, and one of my friends, one of my kids' like best friend's mom, was like, yeah, everyone hated season 2. Like they lost millions of viewers because of season 2, and da 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 da. And I was like, season 2 ain't. I mean, I don't know. Like I didn't play the game either though. I know how people can be really snobby about storylines between books and movies and stuff, and I don't.
I haven't got that far in the game. The season 2, I think, is game 2 also, and I haven't got that. I'm still in the first one.
They ain't give it for free yet.
No. That one, it's not for free, and I'm not that good. I'm like barely getting by on super easy. I'm not a good like video game player. I suck.
What was the reason for the PlayStation 5?
I just wanted to play The Last of Us, and I'm like once I got it, I'm like, dang, I feel like a kid. Like this is awesome. Honestly, since the fight, I haven't played until yesterday. No, this morning. That was this morning. I played while I was waiting to come here. But since the fight, I haven't. It doesn't feel as good because I wasn't like I was in camp, so it felt good to come home and chill. But when I wasn't like training that hard, it didn't feel as good. I'm like, I don't feel like I deserved that yet.
I feel you. A lot of fighters, gaming is a lot of fighters like escape.
Yeah.
And they go and train, and then they come home and they win a game. Do you have any hobbies outside of the fight game?
Nothing. Just me and my dog and my wife. We just chill at home. Not even shows for real. Like The Last of Us might be the only thing I watch because when the TV comes on, I go to sleep. I'm terrible. It's just fighting. I teach my privates, and that's it.
Is there anything you do in your free? Do you have free time, or is that just the free time is all dedicated to the gym?
No, right? Sometimes I gotta ask because I forget. No, I don't do anything other than fight. Like, I mean, I barely even answer the phone because I'm resting because that has to do with fighting. Like, I need to recover. Like, I don't do shit. Everything is revolved around fighting.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's honestly, I wish more people understood this and understood that. I'm not saying you know, man, I got these 22-year-old, 23-year-old kids in my eyes that are working 40-hour jobs, and they also say they want to be in the UFC. And it's like, no, homie, you are giving 40 of your hours to somebody else's dream. Those are 40 hours that could be going to your dream.
Yeah.
But instead, you're giving them to Home Depot, or instead you're giving them to the pizza shop, whatever it might be. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a job and shouldn't make some money. Yeah, like don't be a bum either.
Mhm.
But like you said, you're doing Instacart. People do Uber Eats. People are waiters, waitresses, because those are jobs that'll work around your schedule. So like you have to find a job that works around your dreams.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just working for somebody else's dreams.
I feel that. I feel it 100%. I could, as you know, many times I'm like, damn, it would just be better if I just got a part-time job. But I feel you on that. I'm a firm believer that I don't, like, that gives me confidence too. Like when I'm actually going out there, I'm like, I know I don't do anything else but this. I saw on her Instagram, she got a job. She got a boyfriend that be taking her away from this. Like she don't let me do anything outside of fighting anyway. She's not like, oh, let's go here, let's go there. We haven't had a drink in several years. She don't smoke. Like we don't do none of that stuff. So like when I see other people, like that's just another confidence booster for me. I'm like, everything I got is going into this. And I saw your Instagram and you're not.
Yeah, no, it's like, I tell guys this too, is like, at the end of the day, everyone's making sacrifices. Whenever you're making the walk to that cage, the most confident boosting thing you can have is knowing that no one made more sacrifices than you.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch these guys on Instagram. I'll look at someone's stories too. Like if I notice that somebody ain't been at the gym, I'm like, what are they doing? And I go look, I'm like, this man was out of the club. He was out partying.
And then they be posting it. I don't remember, what are you doing? You don't got sponsors or nothing that you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't got people you're going to fight. You don't care. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. And you know, you brought up something too about your wife being such a big support system for you. I tell people this all the time too, is like, yo, your significant other can either make you or break you. There really is no in between. They're either going to help you get and achieve your dreams, or they're going to ruin your dreams. You know, and it's awesome to hear you say that she is that for you, that she's not saying, hey, we need to go out to the club, or hey, I want to go to this or that, or no, skip training today. Early on, I tell the story a lot too. When me and Brandy first got together, like our first 7 years were like, they were wild. But she would try to get me to skip training, and I would be offended. I'd be like, yo, what do you mean? Like, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. Like, and I remember telling her, like, I'm not trying to be a prick. I was like, but you ain't even you're lucky if you're number 3 on my list right now for priorities. And I was like, I'm trying to make it in the fight game. I'm trying to finish college and like do something with myself. And you know, you can support my dreams and chill at number 3 and be okay being that priority right now. I was like, when we start having kids and really like settle down, yeah, you'll be my number 1 priority. Like you're it. And that's what it is now. You know, now that I'm out of the fight game, I always say you can't be a good father or a good husband if you're a fighter. It's hard because fighting's gonna suffer. Yeah, because fighting needs to take everything. It needs to take priority. It needs to be number 1, and whoever you're with has to kind of be okay with being number 2 and being the support for your number 1. So it's really dope to hear that you have that support system, because man, if I had a list for how many people didn't make it because their significant other was just a terror. Yeah. I got friends that like super talented, could have made it, but their girl didn't like them fighting.
That's crazy. I could never. Sorry, baby. I'll be in the back of guys. But I'm appreciative of it, because this is not how she met me either. So it's like something she's adjusted to. Yeah.
It's a new, which is also dope. I mean, you got the right one, because all the time, I'm telling you, all the time, it's, you know, we've had guys pull out of fights because their girlfriend's cat died. I need to be there for her. I'm like, you ain't even serious then. What does that have to do with you? Yeah, like, I'm not saying you can't be there for her, but like, yo, you got to be here for 4 hours. Yeah. Come fight, leave, go back and be with her. Bring her with you. Yeah. We'll give her a free ticket. We'll buy her a new cat. What do you mean right now?
Yeah, she's missed a lot of fights because we have a big dog who doesn't do new people, so he's not going nowhere.
You're not bringing him to the event?
No, I wish. I really do. I'm trying to get a sponsor to help me train him, so that way he could, because he's 125 pounds. Like, that's her weight. That's what I fight at, and that's his weight. But like, if I'm fighting and I'm away, she's got to stay back, because the only other 2 people he knows are my dad and my brother, and they're going. So she'll stay back, and she sacrifices a lot for it. So it's definitely dope.
We do have a homie, Kanan, I don't know if you follow him or not. He's actually a professional dog trainer.
Okay.
So maybe he can give you some tips.
Yeah.
I'll hit him up and try to connect you guys after. But he's up in Georgia right now, but he does that for a living. Like,
oh yeah.
And dogs that like you said, do not do people.
Yeah.
And he's got them locked in.
Hell yeah.
So,
I could use that.
Yeah.
He'll do anything to protect her. If I get in my fight stance, he jumps on me like, yo, what's up? What are we doing? If I hold her hand, he's like biting mine. I'm like, bro, chill. That's my wife.
Did y'all get the dog together? Or
yeah. Yeah. He's just all over her. But he's my best friend though, like where we play.
Yeah.
But her, like he protects her and she's the boss, honestly. He don't listen to me. She gotta come out the room and tell him what to do.
That's hilarious. I'm just learning all kinds of funny things today.
Yeah.
Well, man, yeah, I'm gonna get there. That's why I was looking at you to see how we were at on time. 10? Okay. We always like to ask a couple questions, like as the podcast kind of come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? Do you have time for that? Like,
I don't really. I was thinking as like when you said conspiracy, I immediately went to the thing, but I've only ever I don't ever think about that shit. And the only most recent thing that I've heard, and they kind of sold me on it, is Joe Rogan talking about the moon landing being fake. And I just agree. And I can't tell you why right now, but when I heard it, I'm like, yo, he ain't lying. They never went to the moon. So that's probably mine.
That's my favorite one to bring up when people say they don't have a favorite conspiracy or they don't. I'm like, I ask them right away. I'm like, you believe we went to the moon?
Yeah.
Because when you hear Joe Rogan talk about it, and there's a website, it's called like Sibrel, I don't know, something, but they have this guy has literally compiled every piece of evidence, video proof where the camera angle, you see the shadows casting from all these different sides.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when you hear Joe Rogan talk about it, it's like, there ain't no way.
Yeah.
Like this is for sure not real.
Yeah.
And if we did go, that footage ain't from when we went.
Right.
And why ain't we been back?
Right. That's the thing. Why we ain't been back?
Yeah, why ain't we been back?
That's what got me.
Yeah. That got me too.
Yeah.
I was like, no, because for sure it's like, I don't know anything that I just do one time. If it was good and it was cool,
yeah,
I want to do it 10 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, that got me for sure. And then when they start talking about all the propaganda behind it and all that other stuff. Another question we like to ask, because it was popular right now and we kind of added on to it. The 100 men versus one gorilla. It ain't gotta be men, just 100 humans versus one gorilla. What do you think happens?
I told you when I walked out that I was the gorilla. But I think the 100 men take the gorilla down. Okay. Yeah, I think the 100 men could take a gorilla down. So.
Now, are we talking 100 hand-selected men, or are we walk into Walmart and pick 100 people?
They gotta be hand-selected. I know you've been in the gym. You've seen what some of these people think they're defending themselves with. When I see some people, I'm like, you went your whole life without learning no self-defense, brother. But yeah, they got to be hand selected. They can't just be anybody. There's a lot of people that don't know what's going on.
But you know what, man? You get into the Instagram comments on any of your videos. I posted a video one time. I said she hits like a man, and the poor guy sitting at home that thinks he knows how to fight. Mm-hmm. I can't believe how many people think they really know how to fight. And I'm not, you don't call any of your teammates, mm-hmm. but I already know because I've sparred with you. Mm-hmm. I have felt your hands. I have seen your movement. Like when it comes to sparring other men in the gym, like you hold your own, right? Like, do you need anyone to hold back for Stephanie if they're your size?
Oh, hell no. They never have. And I appreciate them for that. And I feel like that's why sometimes when I go out there, like I look so much stronger or stuff like that. Because I'm the only girl in the gym. Like there's one other girl, Precious, but she just does Muay Thai. And she gives me great rounds because she's about the same size as like anyone in the 125-pound division. But no, hell no, nobody holds back for me. They never did. And like I said, I really appreciate that. Like usually it's the new people that'll start really weird. And I'm like, bruh, you better hit me because you're making this weird. Like, because I'm about to hit you. And you better hit me back. Don't give me that. And usually once I hit them one good time, they're like, okay, like I better do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make it awkward when you're trying to like be soft for somebody. Yeah. I feel like it just gets weird. It's like,
no, I agree. The same. I'm obviously a small guy. I'm one of the go-to sparring partners for a lot of the women in the gym, and it cracks me up to watch Because I also watch their rounds and want to see them get better and try to help them out and stuff. But it cracks me up to watch the guys that don't really ever spar with women, and then they got to spar with them, and like they'll stand there and just like cover up. And these women are mean. They're not fixing to just punch you once. Like you're gonna stand there and cover up. They're gonna hit you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you better stop that. Like, yo, you better hit her back.
Yeah.
Don't let her do that. Like her opponent's not gonna let her do that.
Right.
So you better not let her just
Right.
beat on you.
Right.
And then the new guys, that's always the best, because they think they know how to fight and they think they're ready to spar. So Julian will literally like, oh yeah, go ahead and get around with Kat. And they get in there and you can see it. Like they're trying to, like, once they get hit, they're like, oh no, I'm gonna hit her. And then it's like, oh no, I can't hit her.
Yeah, she's good, bro.
Yeah.
She's the only person that ever put me down besides Vince with a liver shot.
Oh, really?
Ever. Yeah. And it was, she kicked me. And I should say it. And I'm only saying that so she can never say it.
I said it first.
Yes.
I put it out there before you could. She's so humble and she's so quiet. Like she's not a person to like, we probably never would heard that story, but I'm glad that I did hear that story.
Yeah.
She's got really good kicks and really good timing. So she'll catch you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. There's a video right now on my page where it's like blown up like 5 million views, and all these men are talking about like, yeah, if a man hit her like she hit him, and it's like, yo, I've seen men hit her hard.
Yes.
And I've also seen them give it right back. Like, the average woman who trains will whoop the average man who doesn't train.
Oh yeah.
All day.
For sure.
But if you look at the comments, people really overestimate. That's another thing Joe Rogan says, like men overestimate their ability to fight by like 4,000%.
Bro, it's insane. Like I used to do the intros at Kaizen. So like anyone who was new, like I kind of give them a little rundown. Like this is the jab. Oh my God. Some of the stuff I see and I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. I'm like, bro, what were you going to do if somebody ran up on you, your wife, your kids? Like not protect yourself with that. Yeah. No way.
There's an influencer online. I forget her name right now, but she's a Muay Thai world champion. She's really good, nasty teep, but she always does these street interviews. She asks people like, do you think you can fight? And there was like, yeah. She's like, all right, well, show me how you would defend yourself. And man, the shadow boxing videos she puts out there have me rolling. It is hilarious. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, you see how big I am? And it's like, bruh, does not matter how big you are.
Yeah,
it does not matter.
That's one of my favorite reels. They're like, if like those big guys, if you used your training in a street fight, and they're like grabbing the shirt, like you're not doing shit,
doing
right?
lap pull downs.
Yeah,
it's like no, that ain't gonna work. The last question I have for you: we talked about 100 men versus one gorilla. What about 108-year-olds versus one stone cold?
I love kids. I've got 4 nephews and a niece. I absolutely love kids. And then her sister just had a baby boy that I haven't met. Actually, his first birthday was the day I fought. So that's the reason she couldn't come. She went to the birthday party and I stood back. But me and the 8-year-olds, we teaming up. No. I love kids. I love kids.
Beat them up.
It's not versus
no
nothing.
Anakin Skywalker for you.
It's us versus y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with them.
I've had some UFC level fighters say that they thought 108-year-olds could beat up a man. I just don't see it. I got an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm teeping through all of them.
Yeah, I'd be doing that to Tyler DeHaven's kid. We'd be kicking him around the gym.
You got a cute kid.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the best.
We're gonna end it, but I didn't ask a question I wanted to ask. Where did the name come from? From
Vince. And I really don't remember much, and it wasn't much of a conversation, but I respect him so much, and he's like stone cold. I wasn't really into WWE or anything like that. So kind of leaning into it now, but he said it and I'm like, that's the one. But it might be something to do with my demeanor and then also my initials with the Stephanie Calderon, the SC, and then the Stone Cold SC.
Okay.
So that might all be into it. You'd probably have to ask him.
Yeah. And is a tattoo, is that Stone Cold? Is that part of Stone Cold?
Yeah. So I used to have Lucky there. I got that when we got together, and then I didn't feel like anything at the time. I wanted to cover it up because I didn't feel like anything I was doing was like from luck. I felt like everything was hard work and that I worked for it. So I'm like, all right, we're going to put it. I wanted to cover it up, and then we were like, let's do a snowflake because I was in my Stone Cold thing, and there's a tattoo artist at the gym at the time. She was like, if you win your next fight, I'm going to give out 5 free snowflake tattoos. So there's actually 5 people walking around with Kaizen with snowflake tattoos, and then she has one on her face, and then I have this one too.
That's really dope. Okay. I figured the snowflake was in relation to Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But that's cool how that tattoo came about.
Yeah. She was dope for doing that.
Yeah.
And I
All
hurt
right.
like a bitch. I'm never getting tatted again.
I mean, that feels like that star also, that placement
Yeah.
on the star, that looks like it hurts.
Yeah,
I'm good with arms and legs and
I'm
nothing.
done.
No more tattoos at all.
I'm done.
I think you're gonna need another tattoo.
Uh,
You got spots on your arm that
I've got plenty of room, but I'm not doing it. It was so painful. I don't do needles. But
you don't look at your arm. You can't say you don't do needles.
bro, you got to see me. You guys sent me for the blood work. I'm like, fuck. Here we go. Palms sweating. They'll always fuck with me. They'll be like, oh, it's my first day. I'm like, funny. Like, get this
Not
shit
cute.
over with. Yeah, let's go. I don't do them.
Okay. Well, Stephanie, you want to let them know where they can find you? I believe it's been on the feed the whole time, the Instagram handles and stuff. But let them know. Thank any sponsors you want to thank. You got the floor till we end.
All right, awesome. You can follow me at stone.coldsteph on Instagram. I want to thank my sponsors, Raul Cabrera at Cabrera Law Group and the Wolves of Real Estate. They've been holding it down for me, even in the off season when we're not fighting. So shout out to them. And thank you to everybody at Kaizen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Oh, wait, one more gift. I saw. Look, we almost messed up. I got a super rare here. They have become pretty good friends of mine, and they always want to hook up our athletes. And I always want to give the best stuff to the athletes that are doing everything right. So we got a pair of the gold super rare boxing gloves.
Thank you. I was due for some too. Oh,
that's perfect.
Yeah, with the gold.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And that's it, man. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Every Sunday, either post events or podcast will be on. We'll be back. Thank you, Rami.
Are you ready for combat night?